Today, I want to talk a little bit about putting your own oxygen mask on first before you try to help others. I feel like all too often, by the way, I got my protein shake here. It's a little bit thinner than I usually like. I ran out of bananas. Shit, it is what it is. I feel like all too often people try to start helping everyone else to make themselves feel like a better person. I've met so many people in my life like that take on per se projects, or they'll try to help someone and then go tell other people about how it's so hard helping them, and how perpetuating this idea that they're such a great person, and they're so charitable and generous. But in all reality, it's pretty selfish. It's selfish because you're not actually helping that person for the betterment of them. First off, there's an aspect of you that you enjoy seeing someone else struggle because it takes away from the pain of your own life. But then also, there's an aspect of, if you help them and you see that their life is slowly getting better, that you had something to do with it, which you probably did, but it's still selfish. It's still selfish what you're doing. It's not like you actually care about the person. People really have to look their trauma in the eye and stop being powerless. Because you're always going to want to try to do things um, selfishly to make yourself seem like someone, or create the illusion that you're making a difference. But it might be a net good that you're doing, but at the end of the day, it still comes from a selfish place. And later on, you'll probably find that you do more damage than help, because you haven't solved your own trauma. I mean, I get it. I went, years without ever trying to understand my traumatic experiences and what the basis was for how people acted towards me, or, how I reacted. At the end of the day, you just have to slow down and try to review these events. A lot of people try to tell you, yeah, just get over it, it happened. You got to look forward and move forward. But I think that, of course, you have to move forward, but you have to come to terms truly with what happened. You have to understand the different elements of the situation. I mean, Jordan Peterson said it perfectly in 12 Rules of Life. He said, adults have naively assumed that pretending like suffering doesn't exist is the best way to shield or protect their children from it. That's absolutely foolish. Because even if you try to block it out, it manifests in things like anxiety or depression. No wonder most of our generation is facing things like that. There's power in confronting it and understanding that many of the players or many of the parties involved in your trauma, they felt powerless too. They didn't feel a grip of mine. I mean, they had been wronged at some point, and they decided to wrong you too. Plain and simple. And you have to review your own actions too and say, oh, where did I fuck up? And be honest with yourself. Take accountability. When you take accountability, you grab a little bit of that power back. And what I realized is, when you've been wronged or someone has, traumatized you, not even quote unquote, you felt like they traumatized you, it's easy for everyone just to forget, especially the person that did it to you. Because at the end of the day, most people think they're good people, or they have justifiable, they have a reasoning to do what they did. And the funny part about it is they will probably try to forget if they did something wrong, because they don't want to stain their own character. The brain does a great job of that. It's like a game of banana phone, you know, every time you think about the situation, you put yourself in a better light, which is a big fucking joke. People just gotta be honest about their suffering. They gotta, first of all, understand that it happens to much more people than you think. There's a majority of people are broken. They have things that they really don't feel comfortable talking about. We don't want to be powerless to these things. We want to look at head in the eye, or, you know, straight in the eyes, and realize your own mistakes, but also understand that the people that hurt you, they might have not wanted to hurt you. They just couldn't control it. They couldn't control their emotions. They couldn't control their actions. And it's better for them to rewrite the narrative in their own head than have accountability. Accountability is a lost art in today's world. People do not take accountability for shit. Everyone walks around thinking that they're always right, but you gotta watch out for the people that can admit when they're wrong, that can admit that they don't know everything, that can admit that they make mistakes all the time. Isn't it a little bit naive to walk around and just assume that people are doing things perfectly, or, you know, look around and think that others are, you know, other people don't make mistakes, so I have to pretend like I don't. It's just, the pretending just gotta stop. It just gotta stop. We gotta take accountability. We gotta understand our trauma. And, you know, forgiveness is, I'm not a Christian at all. I'm not a Christian. I respect Christianity. I respect its principles, and I respect and believe that Jesus was probably alive, and he preached forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful things that you can do. True forgiveness. It's essentially the opposite of being powerless. It's saying that I forgive you. What you've done to me doesn't hold any power over me. It doesn't invoke any emotion within me. So therefore, you don't have any control or real estate in my brain. So yeah, I mean, we have to solve our own unhealed trauma before we go around trying to help the world. Because you don't want to get caught trying to look like something or look like someone. You want to be that. Be that. Be that in your bones. Be that in your heart. You will just damage your own psyche and soul over time, trying to help others out of a need or validation. And if you help someone, you don't have to go and tell everyone about it. You can just know that you did. And you can just know that you are like a, you know, as Marcus Aurelius says it, a grapevine that's happy to bear grapes for animals, people. You don't ask for anything in return. You don't ask for an ego boost. You don't ask for anything. You just do it because it's the right thing to do. A grapevine doesn't give a grape and, you know, wonder if the squirrel thinks it's cool or a good grapevine. It just does it because it's in its nature. It's in people's nature, true nature, to be selfless. Being selfish just means that you're weak. Not you, but anyone that would in particularly be anyone that would particularly be selfish. Yeah, it comes from a place of weakness. It comes from a place of not knowing who you are. Thank you.